Hi, I'm Jake. I make RPG supplements and videos about Pathfinder 2, or PF2. I love this system. And it helps that, it came from roots that I was really excited about. PF1 and 3.5 D&D. Really fun, crunchy, meaty systems that did a lot of different things, including intelligent items. And I love that they exist in Pathfinder 2. Alright, so the intelligent items that we have currently come from a few different sources, mostly GM Core and Treasure Vault. I'm going to explain and read some of what intelligent items are in this system. So for those of you that don't care and just want to talk about what specific intelligent items are in this system, go to this time. But I'm going to do just a general overview of magical items and how to use, intelligent items and how to use them. Intelligent items, and this is from GM Core, page 304. Magic items with a mind of their own have been a hallmark of myth and fantasy for millennia. When integrated into a campaign, they can become memorable characters in their own right. That's something fascinating about intelligent items. They have a goal, a purpose. There's a reason they exist, even if it's just, I never got to dance. I want to dance. And it's a sword. That's a dancing sword, an animated sword that just keeps singing and dancing because that's what it lived for. Anyway, intelligent items are a special kind of magic item that straddles the line between treasure and NPC. An intelligent item might be another type of item as well. It could be an artifact, a cursed item, or even a relic that grows with its wielder. So you can add intelligence, sentience, awareness to anything. Some people even have done potion bottles, which I think is kind of odd because they're so fucking fragile. But you could. Introducing an intelligent item is an effective way to subtly alter the party dynamic, and it will. An intelligent item works well when its personality makes it a natural complement or foil for its partner, the PC investing, holding, or otherwise interacting with the item. So, they pair well or they're opposites. Because, clashing or complementing each other is interesting. An intelligent item that can communicate only with that particular PC is also a great way to engage players who are a bit quieter, or those slower to speak in a scene where all the PCs can talk to a particular NPC. Due to their inherently limited agency, intelligent items are less of a risk for stealing the spotlight than other NPCs who travel along with the party. Something that you can do also with intelligent items is give them aspects of other types of items, like a cursed item. So, Frodo's ring, the One Ring, is an intelligent item. In the book, it had its own purpose. I mean, it did sort of in the movie, but if you just add to this intelligent sword that you found some emotion that is imparted to the player, the player character when they pick it up, you feel great sympathy for this thing, or this is so beautiful. This is the most beautiful work of art you've ever seen. Or it feels like you are not yourself if you don't have this with you at all times. Or just, you love this thing. It's precious to you. That goes a long way toward giving somebody an excuse and motivation to roleplay. It's a great acting prompt. Alright. All intelligent items in this system have some sort of perception ability, even if it's just a perception skill. But they also often have special senses, like thought sense, or low light vision, or dark vision. They also almost always have a way to communicate. It could be telepathy, it could be vocal communication, even if they don't have a mouth. It's just like there's a loudspeaker on the back of this sword. Or my favorite, empathy. It just sort of throbs warmly when you're doing an action they approve of. When you're killing orcs, it gets warm in your hand and seems to charge forward. That's an intelligent item. They also sometimes have their own skills and will saves. There are a couple of interesting things to keep in mind with intelligent items. They can work with or against a PC. The example they use here is a thieves' toolkit. if they don't like what the PC is doing or using them for, it can at least be disruptive enough to make its partner take a -2 circumstance penalty to associated checks, much as if the partner were using an improvised weapon or tool. If an intelligent item can have a greater effect, such as seizing control of its partner's body for a time, the intelligent item's entry includes those abilities. And that's possible. Like being possessed for, I don't know, a minute, an hour. Depends. Something fascinating that they clarified in this that I don't think was the case before. Intelligent items can typically use 3 actions per turn, acting on their partner's turn. They're a separate entity. These actions don't count toward their partner's 3 actions. They have a reaction if any of their activations requires one. In some ways, depending on the intelligent item, it can be way better than a pet, because you don't have to use your own actions for it. And this is the only thing that I've seen that is part of the system that breaks the 3-action economy. Because if you are friendly with this item, this intelligent item, it can make you doubly effective on your turn. And that's something that as a GM you really need to watch out for. It suggests in part of this, don't let it cast a 3rd rank fireball every round. That might break things. Before I go through some of the specific intelligent items, I'm going to read one more little segment here. Designing intelligent items. When you first set out to create an intelligent item, ask yourself what role you expect the item will play in your game. Unlike any other item, the intelligent item is a character of its own and adds to the group dynamic, usually in ways similar to a minor NPC who follows the party throughout the adventure. That means it's important to have a clear role in mind. Is the item an ally in the PC's dangerous quest? A kindred spirit and confidant? A foil for the PC? A morally ambiguous ally worth handling for its great power? Or perhaps a bit of comic relief? I love those, personally, especially in video games. Once you know what you want in the item, you can develop its personality and abilities in parallel, coming up with thematic links between them. For me, I usually go with comic relief, or at least something that seems funny, even if it's not entirely comic relief. Something that seems over the top, dramatic, or just plain ridiculous. I'm going to read parts of, or the entirety of, a couple of intelligent items, and point out things that you can use and keep in mind when creating your own intelligent items. I'll start with item level 4, Inquisitive Quill from Treasure Vault. It has the traits Rare, Divination, Intelligent, and Magical. Usage, held in one hand or freestanding. Inquisitive Quill. Bulk, negligible. It's a quill. Perception plus 11, precise vision 30 feet, imprecise hearing 30 feet. So it's just like humans. Communication, speech, 5 languages. Skills, Arcana plus 12, Nature plus 9, Occultism plus 10, Religion plus 9, Scribing lore plus 12. Always a useful skill. Well, it is for an actual quill. Society plus 10, Intelligence plus 4, Wisdom plus 3, Charisma plus 1, Will plus 11. So these have minds. They can be affected mentally. That's why the will save matters. And also remember that any lores or skills that you give an intelligent item are things that your PC doesn't have to focus on. So the more lores you can give an intelligent item, the better, because there are infinite lores. Especially if you know it's going to come up in game, the PC probably didn't take it. And it's something they don't have to spend their own effort of construction on. So the description for the Inquisitive Quill. A colorful feather adorns an Inquisitive Quill which never runs out of ink. Essentially a tiny construct, an Inquisitive Quill can stand on its own when given a surface, balancing as it writes or stands. Drawing a line gives it an effective speed of 5 feet. It has strong curiosity, eagerly writing any information offered to it, often acting as a scribe for its partner. The quill copies text and drawings it can see or transcribes dictation it hears. It writes at a rate that rivals that of an expert scribe. The reason I chose this is because it says that it is essentially a tiny construct. None of these other intelligent items say that it is a tiny construct, or even essentially a tiny construct, and most of them cannot move on their own. However, you can give them abilities that allow them to, within bounds. Like, if you wanted to, you could just make an animated object an intelligent item. But then it's basically a monster. It's no longer just an item. And that's not the focus of this kind of item. So Inquisitive Quill can move at a speed of 5 feet if you wanted to. A Singing Sword, item level 5, it's a longsword that has bardic abilities. It can use Courageous Anthem, Rallying Anthem, and Counter Performance, but it is also an animated weapon. It's called Dancing in the entry for the intelligent items, but that's because it's pre-Remaster, Legacy. That means that the Singing Sword, the intelligent item, you can spend 2 actions letting it go to fly after somebody. It's a speed of 40 feet. So it can fly after an enemy to attack them, or just spend 2 actions flying to get toward an enemy. That's a lot of fucking movement for an intelligent weapon or intelligent item. But it specifically has to have the animated trait. So it just works like the animated trait, like dancing. It's useful, but it's not unlimited movement. It's for combat. The Bleach Guard doll, usually used by gnomes to prevent the bleaching, because the Bleach Guard doll has a piece of their soul that they refer their learned memories to their creator. It can animate itself as Summon Construct. That's a spell with a set duration. It's sustained up to 1 minute. So that's just once per day. You could give something an option of animating itself as Summon Construct. In this case, it makes sense because it's a soulbound doll. It's basically a puppet anyway. The last 2 that I made special note of, I want to mention because they are the most powerful examples of how an intelligent item can function in a party. Dawnflower Beads, level 11, and Arboreal Staff, level 12. So the Dawnflower Beads, it has precise vision and precise hearing, perception plus 20. It has speech. It speaks some languages. It has diplomacy, medicine, religion, Sarenrae lore, and a will save of plus 20. But it functions like Greater Holy Prayer Beads, which can cast Bless or Heal each once per day, among other abilities. Plus, the Dawnflower Beads, being an intelligent item, gain the spells Positive Luminance and 4th level Light. It can do all of them on its own. So it just adds to the effectiveness of the party. It doesn't have any fancy movement abilities. It doesn't really have an overwhelming personality. This is just a straight buff to the party as long as they're being good guys. And I probably shouldn't put air quotes around it. Like, they have to actually be being good guys. Not just, we burned down another town. Oh, we're the good guys. It's okay. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, it actually, like, chastises you for being bad and tries to guide you on the path of goodness and light and Sarenrae and all that shit. But aside from that, it's just a buff. The Arboreal Staff is very similar. It acts as a Greater Verdant Staff, which has the spells Tanglevine, Runic Body, Runic Weapon, Entangling Flora, Oaken Resilience, One with Plants, Shape Wood, Wall of Thorns, Speak with Plants, Plant Form, plus it gains Earthbind as a 3rd rank spell. And it can cast all of them on its own. It's almost bullshit. You really need to be careful when you're making these things that you know the impact it's going to have. Because in this case, the Arboreal Staff, you've basically just put an extra druid in the party. I'm not saying that's good or bad, but just be aware. It's important to keep balance in mind because most of the time, it's hard to break Pathfinder 2 because it limits player actions to 3 per turn, plus reactions, plus free actions. I think that's it. And there's some minor buffs there you can get with different classes, like extra reactions for protecting people or putting a shield up or whatever. But this is 3 more actions and a reaction if the item has one. So it can be super powerful. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Keep it in mind. Be careful. It's really fun. I think my most memorable intelligent item was the Tear of Zail. It was an adamantine war pick that was created from a part of the god of earth elementals. And it had its own interests, but it also had lots of powers. And so I kept putting in earth-related quests that the wielder of the pick had to go do to keep the pick happy. But the pick was super powerful. Like, you could walk through walls at will. You could just earth glide constantly. You could create walls of stone. You could do stone to flesh, flesh to stone. You could create trenches, move earth, whatever. But while it wasn't, like, very talkative, because, you know, feeling of earth, it would, like, push you to do stuff. And if you didn't do it, it just shut off. Just had no more powers anymore. So, like, it told you what to do, you didn't do it, it's done working with you. It seemed really, like, blunt and straightforward, like an earth elemental would be. That was fun. I did do it too much, though, because the other players that weren't the wielder of the pick didn't always want to do these earthy quests. I wanted them to, because I thought it was fun and cute, like saving the peck, these little gnome earth elemental guys that were being enslaved by, I don't even remember anymore, Fire Dragon, I think. But intelligent items can easily seem like a heavy-handed GM, or push things a certain way that you didn't even mean to. So keep that in mind. If anybody has intelligent item stories, please put them in the comments. I would love to hear them. These are fun things to do. All right, thank you for your eyes and your ears. And if you are a patron, thank you for taking care of kitties and kitty treats. And kitty beds that they keep knocking onto the floor. I can't reach it. And if you are not a patron and you would like to be, to help out the channel, or to win cool stuff like this little gemling dragon, then go to the Patreon link below. Or if you'd like to join us on Discord to just bullshit, because it's fun, just nerdy people. I shared pictures of nachos today. The link to Discord is in the description too. And if you would like to watch the live play, we do stream every Friday. It's fun to just watch us be dorks. Or if you would like to see my latest video, here. Thanks, I will see you there.